Well, hi again, everybody, and welcome back to this week's edition of In the Paint, brought to you by Dr. Karen Kramer, your hometown dentist in Grafton and Elyria. Tim Alcorn, along with Matt Douglas from AM 930 WEOL, love to get together each and every week and talk to you folks about high school basketball, both boys and girls, as far as Lorain County action on the hardwood is concerned. And it's not quite tournament time, Matt Douglas, but for the girls coaches in our area, they are thinking about tournament time this week. This is the week that all the girls coaches start their voting as far as the seeding is concerned for the upcoming girls tournament. So it's going to be interesting. The brackets will come out on Sunday to see how the individual and the respective tournaments shape up.
That's the fun about high school basketball, Tim. You don't have to wait till March for the madness to start. It gets going once they put these out. We'll be excited about the matchups and, of course, the playoffs coming up. And, man, there's going to be some good ones coming up in Lorain County because these divisions 1 through 3 we're going to talk about are all stacked, really. I mean, it's really anyone's division or region to possibly take.
Yeah. So we'll go through them real quick, kind of let you know who we think at least might be the favorite or some of the teams to take a look at as far as the girls and tournament time. Again, the brackets will come out on Sunday. So, Matt, you talked about the respective divisions. The Division I district will be held over at Elyria Catholic. Again, remember, it's now the sectional tournaments at the higher-seeded home floor, and then the district will move over to EC. But as far as that EC Division I, boy, that's going to be wide open. I would think, I don't pretend to be an expert, I would think your top seed will probably be Olmsted Falls, followed by Westlake, Avon Lake. But, boy, you've got some other competitive teams in Division I. This really looks to be wide open.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think you point out it's hard to go against what you were picking there, that third team. It'd be a little tough. You could make an argument between Avon Lake and Amherst, I feel, for that spot. They'll play each other again before the season comes to an end. So you'll get a little bit better of an idea, but don't count out Lorain. They're a double-digit winning team this season as they continue on. Midview showing some great signs of basketball this year. So you really never know what to expect. Elyria is growing as the year goes on. They could surprise a team perhaps in the postseason as well. That's my favorite part, especially this Division I bracket. It's so many SWC teams that has that mix of the other Lorain County squads in there too. So it's teams that know each other well. With some, they don't get the opportunity to see as much in the regular season.
Yeah, that familiarity come tournament time. Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. So that's a look at D1. D2, again, that district will be held at Elyria High School over at the Pioneer Gym. Certainly, as you look at D2, in no particular order, but I would think top 3, Bay, Buckeye, Fairview. Now, Buckeye did beat Fairview earlier this year, so maybe they'll use that as the reason to say we deserve to be a little bit ahead of the Lady Warriors. But again, Bay, Buckeye, Fairview, a Firelands team that's playing good basketball. Holy Name is always dangerous. So that's another one that could be pretty interesting.
I think you're absolutely right on that one. Between Bay and Buckeye, I think you could pick either one of those teams to be the 1 seed. I don't think you'd be wrong in that. Fairview, you bring up a little bit of a downturn for them. They've lost their last 2 in a row to both Firelands and Wellington, so they got to start to get things going again here before the end of the season. I think they're a proper pick probably at that number 3 spot, but there's still a lot of basketball left to play, and as you mentioned, Firelands has been playing some exciting basketball here recently, and if they end up with a game on their home court right now, they seem to win it. Wellington's really the only team this season that's been able to control Firelands at Firelands, so again, just exciting basketball coming into the postseason. And as always, I mean, Cloverleaf, who had a great run last year, they were on a little bit of a downturn, playing about 500 basketball at this point of the season, but there's no reason to think the Colts couldn't surprise some teams and perhaps win the region again this year.
So again, that's Division II over at Elyria High, and then the Division III tournament that'll take place at North Ridgeville, again at the district level with the sectional games being on the higher-seeded home floor. Well, you look at Elyria Catholic, they're coming off a Final Four year last year, putting together another outstanding season under their head coach, Eric Rothgary. So you would think the Lady Panthers would garner that number 1 seed. But the Wellington Lady Dukes are having a nice campaign under their head coach, Nathan Morris. They could be a team to keep an eye on.
I think you're right. Right now, they're only a game behind the Buckeye Bucks for first place in that Patriot Athletic Conference Stars division. between Jalen Gibbs and Alexis Lemkool, who's been injured for the better part of the season. I mean, they've really been figuring things out as far as the offense goes. So I think those are two very strong picks there, as well as you got Columbia in there who could do some things. Trinity, I know they play outside of the area, but they're having a very good season. Last time I saw their record, they're well above 500, about 13-3 on the year. So that's a team that always comes out to impress, and I know their head coach loves playing against the Lorain County teams as well. He's from the area. I know he's coached some AAU girls from Lorain County. So that should be a whole lot of fun when those two teams tip off, or when they tip off with anyone here.
Yep, and tournament play for the girls will start on Saturday, February 16th. There'll actually be some games on Saturday the 16th. And as we mentioned, the brackets will actually come out on Sunday. So all you coaches that are watching this video, take Matt and I's opinions to heart.
Yeah.
I'm sure you will. But I'm looking forward to seeing those brackets and looking forward to a lot of coverage as far as girls tournament basketball. All right, Matt, let's transition. It's our Janasco Insurance Players of the Week. Certainly two well-deserving candidates this week. So let's talk about our Janasco Insurance Players of the Week. And since we started the show on the girls' side of things, let's start with the girls' player as far as your Janasco Insurance Player of the Week.
All right, sounds good. Tim, this week I was looking through, and the team that stood out to me the most was Firelands. They had two big games over the weekend. They played Clearview on Saturday, then they came into the week and they took on a very good Fairview team, as you just pointed out, a team that many have slated in that district to possibly win. So I looked at that game, and Peyton Phillips, absolutely huge for the Firelands Falcons as they picked up 2 wins against Clearview and Fairview in that Saturday game against the Clearview Clippers. Brooke Redmond, by the way, has returned to that Clearview squad, making them all the harder to play against. But Peyton Phillips had 18 points in that win over Clearview. Then they get very little time off. You get a Sunday to essentially rest. You're back on the court on Monday night. They take on the Fairview Warriors, who among the top teams are the top team right now in the Stripes division, and they're able to get a victory over them, win by 5. A big part of that, again, was Peyton Phillips, 19.7 rebounds in the game. When you're heading into the home stretch, right now the Firelands Falcons seem to be playing their best basketball, and a big reason for that is what Peyton Phillips was able to do over the weekend, and that's why she's my Janasco Insurance Player of the Week.
Well, you talk about a deserving winner. Congratulations, Peyton. And I'll tell you what, we talked about tournament time. Look out for Firelands. They're peaking at the right time of the year. They've got a terrific coach in Dave Cadella. That's a team that could make some noise as far as that girls' tournament is concerned.
Yeah, they were 5-5 going into the weekend. They're now 7-5 in conference play. So, like I said, they're playing their best basketball at the right time.
Yeah, you want to peak come tournament time. Well, on the boys' side of things, as far as the Janasco Insurance Player of the Week, for the second straight week, I'm going to have a 2-time winner. As I mentioned earlier, he's probably in the running every single solitary week. But, boy, what a stretch of games for Devon Day Grant over at Lorain High. This young man, considered one of the best to ever play in the city of Lorain, strung together 3 games that were just outstanding. Friday night, Lorain High, after a long layoff, played Warrensville at home, which was supposed to be a road game. So all that being said, Day stepped up big, had a 21-point performance on Friday night in the Titan win. Comes back Saturday night against Clearview, and he was just a one-man wrecking crew against the Clearview Clippers. Put together a phenomenal performance. He had 29 points in the ball game, 18 alone in the second quarter. There was at one point, Day had a personal 11-0 run against Clearview. Hit 4 straight 3 balls. I mean, he did everything on Saturday night, and then came back Tuesday night against Bedford, had 23 points. And Lorain was still being challenged by Bedford, and then Day said, no, he scored 8 points in the fourth quarter, kind of put some distance between the Titans and Bedford. And so just 3 tremendous ball games from Devon Grant, 21 Friday, 29 Saturday, 23 Tuesday. Day, second time, you're my Janasco Insurance Player of the Week. He's so special.
Yeah, I mean, he's a game changer, as you just mentioned, what he was able to do in Bedford there to let the Titans pull away at the end. Man, Miami Red Hawk fans have to be excited he's coming down, especially the level of play the Mid-American Conference is getting right now in college hoops, with Buffalo being ranked in the country and everything else going on. That should be fun to see his career play out.
No doubt. So again, congratulations to our Janasco Insurance Players of the Week. All right, Matt, we've got a big week coming up on WEOL. Boy, there's something about Olmsted Falls and North Ridgeville we like.
Yeah, well, without a doubt. I mean, they're two of the top teams right now in the SWC. In fact, the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs after Tuesday night are the top team in the SWC. They knocked off the Lakewood Rangers on Tuesday night to take over sole possession. Lakewood now with 3 losses. North Ridgeville, unfortunately, fell to Berea Mid-Park, who right now is really mucking up the SWC. Berea Mid-Park's won their last 3 games against Lakewood, Westlake, and North Ridgeville. So they've been ever impressive in kind of turning things around there. But look, if North Ridgeville wants to get back in that running, well, they've got to knock off the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs, who are the top dog, no pun intended.
Yeah, they're playing so well. Love watching Chris Delicio's teams play. He has them well coached, and as you said, right now sitting atop the SWC. So that's our boys game on Friday night. And then the same matchup on Saturday for the girls.
Yeah, and you talk about game changers. North Ridgeville's got one in Leah Smith. She's been tremendous all year this year in the SWC, and she's going to be tested against the top team in the SWC, again, in the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs. You got to be exciting over there at Oak Falls. I mean, they've got that opportunity for the regular season sweep of the conference.
All right. So there you go. That's our In the Paint for this week, brought to you by Dr. Karen Kramer, your hometown dentist in Grafton and Elyria. And again, a great big thank you to the folks at Janasco Insurance for sponsoring our Players of the Week. Now, next week, we're going to talk about the boys voting that'll be taking place and the local sectional districts as far as boys basketball is concerned. Hard to believe. Tournament time right around the corner.
Looking forward to it. It's the most exciting time of the year, Tim.
Well, there's no doubt about that. And, of course, there's some great conference races to keep an eye on as well. So that does it. A great big thank you to Bruce Bishop behind the camera. Steve Mannheim in here as well. Boy, we've got, guys working all over the place. Matt, thanks to you. Biggest thanks goes to you, the viewers. Hope you enjoyed this week's edition of In the Paint. And until we talk again next week, so long, everybody.